Okay, I have this interesting question from Science Paper 2 2020. Okay, so the question or the statement above reads, Elena carried out a chromatography experiment to identify components of substance X. Elena carried out a chromatography experiment to identify components of substance X. Water was used as a solvent. The results of the experiment are shown in the chromatogram below. Okay, so chromatography is a separating technique used to separate two or more solutes in a solution. Okay, so one may ask what a solute is. So a solute is a substance that dissolves in a solvent. Okay, so something that is dissolving in a solvent is a solute. Okay, so let us try to study the chromatogram we have. Okay, so we have on my left hand side we have substance X, and on my right hand side we have three unknown components. Okay, so we also have the starting line and the solvent front. Okay, so the first question is inquiring to say which one of the unknown components A, B, or C is insoluble in water. Which one of the unknown components A, B, or C is insoluble in water? Okay, so component A is insoluble in water. Explain your answer. Why am I saying that component A is insoluble in water? Okay, so it is because component A has remained at the starting line and it has not moved. Okay, so when a component or any spot hasn't moved a distance, okay, if it has remained on the starting line or the baseline, then that component is qualified to be called an insoluble substance or component. Okay, question B. Which of the unknown component or components was or were not contained in substance X? Okay, so of these three unknown components, which one or which were they all contained in substance X, or which one was contained in substance X? Okay, so if you look clearly to find this answer, you compare. Okay, if they are in the same, if these three unknown components are in the same line with the component at substance X there, the substance X, then we can conclude to say that the unknown component is contained in substance X. Okay, so the answer is component C. Okay, so component C. So component C wasn't contained in substance X. Okay, but component B. Okay, question C. Calculate the RF value for component B. Calculate the RF value for component B. Okay, so this is called the retardation factor or rentation factor. Okay, so how do we calculate this this retardation factor? Okay, so RF is equal to distance traveled by component divided by the distance traveled by solvent front. Okay, so now let us determine the distance traveled by component. Okay, so if you are able to see clearly the distance traveled by the components, that's where the B component and substance X has reached. Okay, that's the distance. Now, how can we find this distance? Okay, we only have the distance traveled by the solvent front. Okay, so we are going to simply subtract the 7 centimeters from the distance traveled by the solvent, which is 28. Okay, so 28 minus 7 is 21. Okay, so that will be our numerator, and the denominator, which is the distance traveled by the solvent front, is 28 centimeters. Okay, so if we divide, we are going to get 0.75. okay, that's the answer. That's the RF value. Okay.